just, and Max on Cath is amazing.
Are going for the next level mind games, and they want the Adagio.
Yeah, well, Vainglory says he can play anything in lane. It could be an option.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll see if that one comes on through.
But I think Cath lands, but I think Cath is really good because SK's been playing Cath a lot and has been giving them a hard time against Immortals. So I think Immortals taking Cath away, which forces Raph to either play Arden, Lyra, or Lance here. But I think they'll probably go with Arden because Raph has such a solid Arden.
It also forces Batiste to have to be considered as likely a ban for SK unless they want to build a draft around a Batiste themselves. Obviously, we know that they are comfortable playing that hero. We'll see if it does come out, but there's going to be the Krull for SK Gaming.
Yeah, that one has been kind of a comfort pick within this series. Obviously, we talked about earlier, this is not something that we know the team for. Banning away the Batiste, unsurprising with the Catherine lock-in.
Yeah, unsurprising with the Catherine lock-in, but now the other question is going to be the Lance. Do they look to take the Lance for SK? Because Immortals, I think, is a team that could potentially run the Lance as a jungle. Even though T-Tigers doesn't play it a lot, it's still a hero that he could make plays with. And set up a lot of kills for Dienzio if they run him with a Scarf or Adagio, whatever he wants to have. It is going to be SK grabbing the Lance. This is something that Europe has run a lot of. We've seen a couple other teams in things like VIS Pro run the Krull with a Lance. It's all about just a massive combo setting up for either a Celeste or a Kestrel or a Scarf to be a hyper late game carry with that CP. It's a massive combo.
Yeah, and I think here, I mean, Vox looks really solid right now. Vox, Koshka could work as long as you snowball the Krull here. But Vox looks really good into this competition because Vox can kite the Krull easily, can dance around the Lance, and then you have a Catherine silence and you have a Vox silence. It could be a very deadly combo. Instead, they're going to go ahead and take the Adagio, and I think Blackfeather will be picked here, because they played this composition yesterday against Hammers and worked out really well for them. If SK picks Celeste here, it's super risky because Blackfeather is just going to get on top of her and blow her up because Tigers builds Blackfeather with Sorrow Blade, Shiv, and Tension Bow potentially, and that's so much burst against a hero that Vainglory just doesn't build armor, so it'd be very risky they do pick Celeste here. So let's see, but I think they will. They're gonna go with Celeste because that's just the meta.
And one of the things as well is you've got that Celeste Lance combo. We've talked about it a bit across the course of this weekend. It's when the Lance can lock someone in place and you can consistently land the damage as Celeste. You can just burst people so quickly.
Yeah, they also could go for the Scarf here for SK just because it's extremely similar, but a little bit more survivability on the Scarf because you can get that fortified health when you use the Dragon's Breath. I don't think Blackfeather is going to be as... Obviously, it's going to be a threat, but they have the tools to deal with it. Once Blackfeather dives onto the backline, that's his mobility, that's his anti-crowd control already used. And if the Lance is staying with the backline, the moment Blackfeather goes in, just immediately use a Githian Wall to knock him either away or into a wall. But they're going to go with a Samuel instead.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is very, I don't know if this is good or bad.
Right, so we talked before about, we saw the interviews of Vainglory saying he has some things up his sleeves. Their backs are against the ropes. Let's see how this is going to work out. It could be a lane Krull, it could be a lane Samuel. We know how much Tyras loves to play that Samuel in the jungle. It might be lane Krull.
It's lane Krull, I believe.
I think it will be as well. We'll have to see as we get on into this one. Thoughts on this game before we jump on in?
It's going to be fun. That's all I know. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know who's going to win, but I know it's going to be entertaining.
If it's SK and Krull's laning, power to SK.
All right, well, we'll see if they can pull this one off. Let's pass it back up to Fuji and Humanist to get this one underway.
Thank you very much, Bunchables, and our analysts letting us know this one's going to be fun, Fuji.
Just packing some things up here.
Just pack it all the way up here.
Pack it.
Exactly.
Okay, this is crazy. Crazy draft.
Absolutely crazy drafts.
I don't know what to think. But
did we see who picked up who? Is it the Krull? Is it the Lance going to lane?
I mean, we're going to find out soon enough.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Whatever happens here. You know, SK, their tournament life is on the line, right? They've put up a great fight thus far. I'm really impressed with what they've accomplished up against this Immortal squad who look really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they're off 2 wins at the moment, right? So at this point in time, it's one of these things where when your backs are against the wall and you're SK Gaming, you're looking to pull out something that you think nobody is prepared for, and you can't save it for finals day because you may not even make it to begin with.
All right, well, you play to the meta, you don't find the win. It's going to be Vainglory on the Samuel here.
Vainglory on the Samuel. So the only notable Samuel player in a carry position of history was Miko, Mixi. So it's interesting to see this come out because it's been quite some time since we've seen anybody really lean into this pick, especially from a carry perspective.
Yeah, the last time I saw Kvolifar play this was when they accidentally forgot to switch heroes and he played a weapon. Samuel up in the lane. I'm sure they have a plan here. Raph taking a whole bunch of damage. He overstepped himself. Zeo uses boots to go forward, but Tyrus, he's going to find a tasty little Adagio snack and smite him down.
Oh man, some would have said it was a bait. I don't know. Tyrus is like, look, Raph, here's the thing, man. If you die for me, I'm going to get the kill. It's going to be all right. I'll use that extra gold for another weapon blade here. But I'm sure Raph doesn't feel too good about going down. That being said, let's take a look actually where the wave is positioned here, Humanist. So many minions about to push into DMZO. I really want to see SK Gaming try to deny some of this farm if possible. But it really looks like Raph's just trying to make sure he doesn't get his jungle invaded.
Yeah, there's no real harm of the invasion actually happening right now. Zeo, he's got that gift of fire, just burning down the whole way. Now, Drifting Dark, the Malice of Verdict coming out early. You know that Samuel has so much damage, even at level 2, just being in that Drifting Dark. One thing I like about him up in the lane here, the Corrupted Genius does give him a lot of regeneration and sustain.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's one of the reasons why in lane he can be quite a nuisance because he doesn't really ever have to go back home to get energy, to get potions, to heal up. So a lot of pressure being put on to DMZO here from the lane. I like it.
Tyrus moving up. They found T-Tigers. They're going to have the NCL, the damage to get the wall to follow. Max Green dropping low. Tyrus, he's got that turret aggro. They'll be able to get out of there without losing their life. On point from T-Tigers as he moves forward. Dana Bart onto Raph, couple basic attacks.
Nice.
Gets the wall, will cancel that off. On point connecting as well. T-Tigers feeling himself right now.
Feeling himself, but respect to Raph for being able to make sure he got the stun there. That was the difference between him dying or living. So good plays out of both team here. I like the fact that SK is not playing from behind. They're not acting like they just went down the 2 games in this series. They're still trying to apply the pressure when they can find it, still looking for those picks with Tyrus. I want to make sure, though, we keep our eye on Kroll once he gets level 6 to see what they're able to do. T-Tigers taking that Treant camp for himself. It is his, technically, and was supposed to be his all along.
Yeah, Tyrus had marked claim to it, so it was technically stolen away.
Oh, man. But that being said, we still see DMZO pushed up against this turret here, and this is kind of the nature of the early game here with the Samuel.
T-Tigers in very aggressive onto Kvolifar, Drifting Dark, moving backwards. Kiting not able to go down. T-Tigers almost fighting the kill. Tyrus from the backside. Kvolifar hanging around back screen, getting the kill. Tiggs able to drop down. Tyrus not able to find the kill himself.
I'm not sure if they noticed Max Green just walking through the enemy team and going for the kill. Like, there was no attempt to try to block that. They just thought perhaps Kvolifar was safe, but that was not the case.
Yeah, they don't know who they're messing with, this Max Green character here. T-Tigers, we gotta get out of here. Impale will connect. Tyrus is there. Kvalifar's dropped as well. Uses the Feint of Heart, jumps up to the top side, will go down. Or die 2-2 here, 4 minutes into this one.
Many moons ago, it made sense to go into the enemy jungle to try to take some camps. Even if you died, it was oftentimes worth it. Right. It's been quite some time since that was the meta, so dying for especially only 1 camp, not worth.
Not worth indeed. Nice splash damage coming out there as the Malice and Verdict empowered, able to connect onto Immortals up in the lane. But nobody going down just yet. Not in danger of actually dying. We talked about the sustain for the Samuel with Corrupted Genius. Obviously, it's a different form of sustain, but the Adagio, phenomenal as well as keeping himself in the lane as well.
Definitely can keep himself in the lane. One of the things, though, is he does have to get that burn on the minions he's attacking. We have it fights.
Pyrus moving forward, the Shadows empower him. T-Tigers taking a whole bunch of damage. Weakness stacks are there. Can he chop him down? Yeah, he's got it. Activates that Spectre Smite. Thing of beauty.
Thing of beauty, indeed. You get the stacks, lay him down. DMZO, you're the next target, buddy.
They're going to go in for 2-man impale to get the wall as well. Raph turning it up. Raph making the plays. Goes down. Okay, it's all calculated. It's all worth it.
Once again, Tyrus, hey Raph. So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna go down, but we're gonna get kills. We're potentially even gonna get the turret here if they're gonna stay a little longer. Not going to make the risky play for the turret. But with Samuel in the lane, once he comes back, he's gonna have a bunch of items. He's gonna have a Shatter Glass most likely. Oh, he goes Frostburn. So they're looking for the slow. So they're not looking to actually blow up anyone on the front line. They're looking to do kiting. I was gonna kind of pitch to you, Humanist, that perhaps the thing SK Gaming is going to want to try to decide is, do they look for the Adagio kill, or do they look for the kiting path against the Black Feather with that Frostburn? Looks like kiting's the name of the game.
Okay, I was gonna ask how that was gonna play out. From Hellsart, not quite connecting. Tyrus moving forward to get the wall, stunning up Max. Max with the fountain, but it's SK to lose one. Tyrus goes down. Kvalifar kiting back, does not have his drifting dart ready to go. And Rav, he's gonna knock him back with the Githing wall, but they chase forward. Max looking for the stun, not able to connect, but Immortals are in a great place to apply pressure here. T-Tigers rotating around from the bottom side. Kvalifar's in a bad place. They have the flare out. Drops the drifting dart, will kite back. It doesn't have tons of damage. The Frostburn. Tiggs goes down! Not quite juggling that turret aggro the way they would have liked.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Raph catch a turret shot. Tiggs caught his own, so everyone has their own turret shot to take home from the tournament today, but I have to question SK though, why they don't need to push so hard here.
Raph boots forward, doesn't connect on the impale, but the damage there stacks up. Max screens down. Turret should drop here as well as Kvalifar can drop that turret aggro. He would have gone down with one more turret shot there. SK, they're going to hang around here. This turret is incredibly low. Let's see, are they going to pull the trigger? Who's it going to be on? T-Tigers dropping down. Tyrus is empowered. Weakness stacks building up. Dead Man's rush forward. T-Tigers taking a whole bunch of damage. Tyrus is locked on. And T-Tigers just goes down there. I mean, like, there was nothing he could do once he rose offensive back.
Yeah, nothing he could do. Going for more here. Looks like the first turret's going to finally go down for SK. Perhaps, maybe not. They're still sticking around.
Oh my goodness, they didn't have the minions far enough forward. And look at the damage coming out. Forces the fountain in a 2 versus 3. Max doing an incredible job there, of course, backed up by Zeo. Oh my goodness. Another impale comes out. Rav finding the stun, but Max doing such a good job the front line for his team. Tyrus activating the Spectral Smite, but Zeo continuing to hammer from the backside of this fight does force SK back.
These are some of the longest team fights in lane I think I have ever seen in a Vainglory competitive game. But I have to say, like SK, they got the turret down, but they're getting a little ahead of themselves. Just be patient. The turret almost has no HP. Just push your wave in. You have Samuel, you have Drifting Dark. You can get off some safe Malice and Verdicts into that turret to knock it down, put the gold in your pocket, but their over-aggression, their over-assertiveness from that initial team fight victory has actually cost them quite big, still not getting the turret multiple times in.
Now, Fuji, I'm looking at this Black Feather, and in the recent past, we've seen a lot of sustain built up, a lot of lifesteal coming out as oftentimes as a first item. We've seen Sorrowblade come out as a trend. What's going on here?
I mean, honestly, it's just Black Feather wants to get to a target, max his Faint of Heart stacks, and actually execute the target. That's what Sorrowblade's going to allow him to do. Lifesteal sometimes can be tough if you don't think you can stick to your target. With Kroll taking down your damage if he's on you, Githyan walls coming out, you may only get a few autos in, a few opportunities to get damage down as Black Feather. So it's a very popular build coming out. Really key, though, if you're on a Black Feather and you got Sorrowblade, you definitely want to go into some attack speed, so I like the path that T-Tigers is going here. He's got the Swift Shooter, he's got the Infusion in his pockets. Looking for a play here. We want to watch when this Infusion goes on live here. You can also sell it if they think they want to prioritize something else, but 1-4-2, not having the performance he would like to have in this game, of course. It's been quite an eventful game. But Humanists, we talked about it before, the turret's up. SK's in the lead. We'll have to see if they can win this team fight.
Drifting Dark, Kvalifar drifting forward with it. Tyrus trying to get on Zeo. The verse is let loose. It's going to connect. Big verse of Judgment, but Zeo goes down anyway. Tyrus is very low. He uses Dead Man Rush to get back, but it's going to be, actually, T-Tiger's able to take that kill. Impale coming down here. It's a 1-for-1 thus far. Who's going to go down next?
Dark.
Max Screen, can he find the... I don't know, he actually can't find the damage to get forward there. T-Tigers doing such a good job with these on points, tanking up damage, trading the damage there, not finding the execution that he would have liked. These fights could go either way. They're so incredibly close.
I mean, the minion wave being there was so critical too. All of that damage from Malice and Verdict and Powered was going into the wave and splashing off of the wave, so you mix those blocks from the minions with the on-point landing, you're not able to actually take them down. But I was just about to say, like, SK, they had a kill lead. They get the advantages, but they're just not able to transfer them into objectives because they are just taking fights too sporadically. They need to group up. They need to figure out who their target focus is. They lost game 1 because they were focusing the wrong target. They cannot afford to do the same here.
Zeo taking a whole bunch of damage. Kvalifar in the Drifting Dark. The Malice and Verdict coming out. Zeo gets the fountain. He's staying alive, but gets shot down. It is going to be the Samuel finding that kill as T-Tigers is forced back just on a sliver of health, and this should be a free Crystal Sentry for SK. So this is a fight where they're actually going to get an objective to your last point.
I mean, they also hard committed to killing D'Enzio just then. Like, Cavalifar dropped his Drifting Dark and just kept mouse inverting towards Adagio over and over. Didn't care about anything else that was happening in that team fight. Got the damage off. They were able to take him down. We'll see if they can collect this gold mine too.
It's Max gonna seal
Nice.
this? Nice. Very
Nice
nice
route,
job there. Raph able to seal the deal for his team. So SK, Crystal Sentry, and the gold mine are off the back of that fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really big deal for them, but that turret should be the next objective on the agenda. Immortals not wanting them to knock this down, pushing up this huge wave that I'm sure Cavalifar is going to want to clear. However, Samuel, if he uses a drifting for the wave clear, he does not have it for a team fight. Immortals knows this, so they want to shove him into wave so they can get map pressure back on their own side.
I think that's a really good point. And Fuji, as I'm looking at these items, I mean, my personal opinion, of course, Samuel has a pretty good amount of damage just naturally built in when he's in that Drifting Dart. But it's when he gets that Broken Myth that he really starts to come alive.
Yeah, I mean, once you get the Broken Myth, you get your stacks up. He has the E for the extra life steal. He's going to be dropping these Drifting Darks, and he's actually going to want to be in the middle of everything. It seems counterintuitive when you're playing a mage, but his Drifting Dark gives him so much life steal per hero and per enemy minion in the Drifting Dark, while Samuel is also inside of it. So that's where he's going to want to live, but you have to be bold, you have to be courageous. Cavalifar is the guy. We'll have to see if he can actually pull it off.
Oh, bold and courageous. What a combination that they need here. Cavalifar is one of these players that I believe could pull through. He has the strong mentality that we were talking about is needed, right? Sometimes you have, like Raph, he's a passionate player. Sometimes it can get the best of him. Cavalifar, one of the guys that was always cool, calm, and collected. Even back to the Team Secret days, when everybody's getting psyched out, he's like, yo, guys, yo, just chill. We've practiced this. We have a plan. It's time to execute.
Time to execute indeed. SK really wanting to take down this turret. Right now it is 900 gold to their team net worth, not in their pocket. Every time they get close, Immortals is there as a three-man team to block it. I love the fact Immortals is putting so much priority on protecting this objective. Do not let it fall. Do not let them get the gold. Do not let them have the map pressure. But somebody was first to echo. We're going to want to watch Max Green. How does he actually execute with this item? Raph is still quite a bit a ways off from his own. I would like to see Immortals push up the wave, get some vision down, and look to make plays with this item.
Max Green trying to zone Raph and Tyrus out from moving up into the mustache brush. He's going to find his stun. Combat roll over the top side. One blast shimmer coming through. Second blast shimmer blocked off, but Cavalifar kiting back. The Drifting Dark is down. He has to sustain. They've taken T-Tigers down. Do they look for more, though? Look at the massive damage coming out here from Zio. But now they're on the run. It's SK on the chase. The Fountain comes out, but Max Green is down. D'Enzio, can they find the actual lockdown? The impale from Raph, a thing of beauty. They'll take him down. And SK Gaming find an ace of their own.
That's not supposed to happen, Humanist. He beat him to Echo. The whole idea of being ahead is that you win the team fight. But Immortals, no. Immortals, what did you do? Why did you go so far in, a little bit off-site? T-Tigers, your aggression is what you're known for. We were applauding you early on today about saying it's very tactical aggression.
Well,
this was a little bit too wily.
I think it goes back to your last point that you made about the sustain from the Samuel when he has that Drifting Dark out. I mean, they threw it out. I think there was Max and definitely T-Tiger sitting in the middle of that. He was connecting on his Malice and Verdicts. He was empowered up. That was massive damage coming out. T-Tiger's just exploded.
Yeah, I mean, Cavalifar also had a level 9 infusion ticking the entire time. We didn't have the same type of stability from Empowers coming over from Immortals, so a little bit risky, biting off more than they could chew. But the game is reset a little bit. We're at just slightly shy of a 2,000 gold lead for SK Gaming. Double the kills on the map. This is their game to win at this point if they play it right, Humanist. But still, SK struggling to find continued objectives even after so many kills on the board.
Raph has his own Echo now, so we can look for that double Githian wall, whatever he actually needs to do. So a lot of lockdown potential here. And if that can catch Immortals off guard, it could be devastating.
Could be devastating. The Echo is off cooldown for Max as well. In fact, everything at this point is off cooldown as we head into the 15-minute mark of the game. Kraken making her way on to the fold. This series has been a series about Kraken timing, about the 15 to 18 minute mark. That's where everything breaks loose, and we're starting right now.
There you go, right on cue. Now it's going to be the jump in on to Tyrus. Tyrus moves back with the Deadman's Rush. He gets the weakness stacks out onto the black center, but D'Anzio allowed to let loose on his damage. Tyrus dropping low. Kvolifar doing his best. Tyrus gets deleted. The blast shimmer comes out. Kvolifar trying to kite back, but he's shot down. Raph can't do anything to keep his team alive. Raph will go down. The ace comes through for Immortals right on cue. How about a Kraken?
There's too many things to block for this team. SK, they're using Crucible for what? For stun? I don't know. For Blast Trimmer, maybe a second Blast Trimmer. What about Adagio ult? There's so many things they have to prioritize. I don't think they actually have a successful team fight win unless they're able to delete a target immediately, or they have to get a second Crucible. They're going to have to find something else to really be able to solidify these team fights. I mean, when we see this setup, we actually see SK the ones that want to go in on this fight, but Drifting Dart being used going diagonally towards the enemy side of the map means it is not available for this part of the fight where Kvolifar is able to stack up on top of the entire enemy team. We said the win condition for Samuel in this composition is to have that available for the team fight. He used it for poke.
I mean, yes, he did, but I say that is less of a mistake from Kvolifar than taking advantage of an opportunity by Immortals, right? They saw that. They knew that he wouldn't have it available, and that's when they pulled the trigger. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, from both sides, if you see the opportunity, you take advantage of it. Immortals never going to shy away from that. Kraken pushing down on this turret. Humanist, this is a big moment. Choke point turret going down. How much will Immortals commit to this? How much can they commit to this with Lance and Samuel on defense?
It's fairly easy for D'Anzio to deliver that burning
Blast
damage
Trimmer
coming through. A Blast Trimmer will connect right there. A nice stun coming out of Raph. This choke point turret is dropping very low. Kraken is incredibly healthy as they move forward. Zio just hangs out on the backside. He can let the Catherine move forward or the Black Feather, whatever they want. Tigers continues to throw that on point, but a nice impale coming out. Is SK going to try and actually take the fight here? They move in, but right back out. The Drifting Dart coming through. Tyrus doing a good job to stay alive. The Fountain keeping him alive as well. They're going to move back. Very low Raph. He can't tank for his team when he's that low. Tyrus incredibly low as well, waiting for the countdown. Kvolifar is the target. They've chopped him down. They've lost the Samuel. Immortals are doing it. They're moving in. Max, he's low. Tigers as well. Tigers is down. A double kill actually coming through for Tyrus right at the end.
He has Atlas.
Yeah, it's actually, with the attack slow there, it's going to take a while, but I don't think Max is going to stick around. This Kraken is going to be dropping here.
It's going to be turret. They get, that was like one of the best pushes you could possibly have for a first Kraken pickup in the game. Oh my goodness, Humanist, the amount of focus, the plays coming out. T-Tiger's grabbing his own Crucible to be able to help block things in these team fights, but that push, that was exactly what we were talking about. We were wondering how can they actually hold, but Humanist, in these moments, like, they don't have Kraken damage. SK Gaming has to choose, do they focus Immortals or Kraken? And in this moment, the indecisiveness actually cost them both of their crystal turrets. Kvolifar, just look at T-Tigers, look at how many times he hits his on points in order to stay alive just long enough to be able to do just enough damage to take out the next target. And of course, I love the fact Max, he doesn't shy away. He goes in, he drops the Atlas, keeps him from being able to take the Kraken down. It's an open
Max Green
crystal.
Efficiency right there at the end. Also, credit to Max. He was doing a great job to body block those Malice and Verdicts. I think he caught like 3 full rounds of those Malice and Verdicts coming through.
I mean, Raph actually blocked the echoed silence from Catherine, but once again, it was still not enough. Like, it's just so many things for SK Gaming to think about, and Kvalifar's damage now is just no longer getting through the front line. This Catherine Stormguard shield here protecting D'Anzio so well. This is a tough spot for SK. Like, I want to talk about how do they come back into this, right?
Yeah.
If Kraken gets captured by Immortals, they do not have a composition that actually does significant damage to Kraken. There's no true mage, there's no super damage coming out. And once again, Drifting Dark, if it's used for Kraken, it's not used for the team fight. It's really going to be tough. They're going to need to get a pick. Hell's Heart has to land. They have to get the Githians. They have to get the Echo down, get the second round of stuns, or Immortals is going to take this 3-0.
Such a tense moment right now. SK's tournament life on the line. Immortals just need one good fight right here to take them out, to take this series. Such a big deal for Immortals too, who I feel like had a whole lot to prove. D'Anzio, you know, it's been a season or two since he was back on top, and he's really been grinding to get back to that top position, to let everybody know that he is that top laner to fear. I think he's done an incredible job thus far, of course, backed up by T-Tigers and Max Green. Immortals moving, rotating around. This is a positioning game right now.
Yeah, it's a positioning game. Immortals is what they're going to try to do, is force the lane forward to make SK come up out of the jungle. SK's trying to do their best to keep a backdoor 10 from happening. I like the fact that Immortals is making the forced call here. Iris coming up from the bottom. Humanist, he's going to look for a pick from this bush. This is the moment. This is it.
This is the danger zone. Tyrus, he moves and he's on to T-Tigers. The impale's there. Tyrus, he gets on to DNZO. He finds the stun. DNZO winds up with the burst of judgment. It's going to connect. They also land the attack.
They're
slow coming down. They lost the game. Volafar. Oh no! SK crumble here at the end. 20 minutes in. Immortals find the fight they need to seal the deal here in Game 3 and take this series exactly the way they wanted to. North America on a tear here in Day 2, Fuji.
Immortals said we are one of the best teams perhaps in the world, and they're proving it here with the 3-0 victory over SK. This is such an incredible performance out of them. They exceeded expectations. Heartbreaking for SK.
Well, a sigh of relief from Immortals.